The delusional fan base that follows her disrespected the WNBA players by saying she's going to go in that league and tear it apart.
Caitlin Clark's admirers were labeled insane by Geno Auriemma and those same. As she dominates the WNBA, breaks 62 records, wins Rookie of the Year, and is crowned the first rookie to be named to the All-WNBA first team in 16 years, fans are no longer the only ones supporting her.
There were actually odds on she's third or fourth in betting odds on being MVP of the WNBA. These people are so disrespectful and so unknowledgeable and so stupid that it gives women's basketball a bad name. Okay, so the kid was set up for failure right from the beginning.
Stephanie White. By the end of this video, we'll also share some important off-season priorities that Coach Stephanie and Caitlin are working on together to dominate next season. Indiana Fever's new head coach recently went on record, which is a stark contrast to Auriemma's criticisms. She's painting a picture of Clark that is so different from Auriemma that you'll wonder if they're even talking about the same player. Geno's remarks have undoubtedly aged like great milk, and everyone is curious about what White said.
If you're a WNBA player, and believe me, I've coached the best, and I've pissed them off a lot, and they let me know about it. But they were tremendously disrespected. And none of them are going to say it. But human nature is, okay, this kid's coming into the league.
Imagine that this is June 2024, when Geno Auriemma, UConn's renowned coach, makes a statement on Caitlin Clark. The basketball world pauses. Auriemma, who is known for having a sharp tongue, doesn't hold back when he says that Clark isn't physically suited for the WNBA. His words reverberate across the sports world.
This kid's on the wrong team. She's got the wrong skill set to handle the physicality of that league, and she's a rookie.
Is the renowned coach of women's college basketball correct? Has he noticed something that others have missed? The anxiety is high as players and analysts clutch their breath, but suddenly amazing things happen. Game after game, Clark disproves Auriemma, and her assists rack up like mountains. Her shot finds its mark precisely with a laser. The world watches in wonder as this rookie, who is ostensibly not cut out for the league, begins to alter the record books. The anxiety increases with each game. How high can Clark go? Can she maintain this level? The skeptics begin to fade away, while the believers get more vocal. Clark is dominating, not just playing well.
There's a difference between great players and phenomenons. No one ever said Caitlin Clark wasn't, no one ever said there weren't ever great players before Caitlin Clark. There was never phenomenons, not in my lifetime, with women's basketball. And I went to UConn, so I've seen plenty of great players, but nobody's ever moved the needle in my lifetime like this.
As the season goes on, it becomes evident that Auriemma's remarks have been stale like milk exposed to the sun. In her debut season, Clark not only breaks a few records, but she crushes 62 WNBA records. That seems nearly unbelievable, but it's true and amazing.
And Diana said it best. This kid's in for a rude awakening.
Remember how Auriemma claimed that Clark's followers were delusional? Well, those same fans are now witnessing her rule the WNBA and smash records left and right. Reality has arrived, and her name is Caitlin Clark, but this tale is only beginning. The new head coach of the Fever, Stephanie White, is about to bring a brand new chapter to Clark's already amazing journey. In addition to being impressed with Clark's performance, White has a plan and a vision to elevate Clark's performance even further. Are you prepared to hear what Stephanie White has to say about Caitlin Clark? She not only shown that she belongs in the league, but also that she can dominate it. I promise that it will make Origami's remarks appear even more chilly than they were previously.
She's a great player. She's a high IQ player. She adjusted really quickly to this league.
Unbelievably.
Unbelievably quick to this league. And now it's about becoming not just a great player, but becoming a great leader for this team so that we can win not just a championship, but championships. And what does that look like?
How can a coach take a record-breaking rookie and make her even better? Remember when they claimed Clark couldn't handle the WNBA well? Stephanie White isn't just proving them wrong. She's revolutionizing the game itself. You might be surprised by White's response. The basketball world listens as Stephanie White takes the mic. She's not just discussing victories and defeats. She's illustrating the Fever's future, which is audacious, ambitious, and all about realizing Caitlin Clark's full potential.
I want our players to use their instincts and to play free. We want to make plays, not run plays, right? We want to have sets that give us certain spacing that we want, depending upon our rotations, who's on the floor, who we want to attack, what matchups we want to get to, how can we manipulate them. So we'll have certain play calls that just give us space to operate. And then whichever play we make, whichever pass we make determines, one of three actions that our players can read from. And so really giving them the freedom to play within a system.
White's plan for Clark and the Fever in 2025 goes beyond simply setting new records. It's about changing the way the game is played. She makes a shocking revelation that has everyone talking. We want to make plays, not run plays. It's a straightforward but revolutionary statement that says, this isn't your grandma's basketball strategy. In contrast to the strict by-the-book method we've seen from coaches like Auriemma, White is allowing her players to create within a framework.
Wants to know, if Caitlin Clark played for Geno, would he let her shoot logo threes?
Should I answer that?
Go ahead.
Hell no.
Okay.
Like, he didn't even let us dribble. Like, not the high pass. We were playing triangle, pass, screen away, pinch post.
I bet we came off five pick and rolls our whole career.
White adds that we will have certain play orders that allow us to move freely, after which our players can read from one of three actions depending on the pass we make.
I'm not one of those coaches that is going to be set in her ways. Not one of those coaches that isn't, I'm willing to try new things.
However, how will this new strategy affect Clark's game? The suspense is growing because Clark has previously demonstrated that she can succeed in a conventional system. With this freedom, what heights might she achieve? White is discussing basketball with Clark about more than simply XS and OS. She is discussing the game in general, not specifically Fever basketball.
What's your approach when you're coaching greatness like that?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, just talking basketball, right? Just having general basketball conversations about what she's watching, what she likes, what are some of the things that what are some of her thoughts from, not just what the Indiana Fever have done, but from the game of basketball in general.
White's strategy relies heavily on this open communication. White discloses that she is listening, learning, and working with Clark rather than merely giving him instructions. I discussed with her how we might use her to assist our team perform better overall by making her more effective and efficient. White's coaching style aims to develop Clark into a great leader as well as a great athlete. She is fostering Clark's high basketball IQ and giving her fresh perspectives on the game. White's faith in Clark is evident. She is a fantastic player with a high IQ who has adapted to this league quite rapidly.
I've never seen in the NBA a player that can throw the ball ahead on the break better than her. Or him. Anyone. I had Isaiah. I had Hall of Fame point guard. Never anyone better than her. I also think that, like a lot of my great point guards, Hall of Famers, she could play off the ball so well because she knows how to move without the ball, and it wouldn't tire her out.
As we look to the 2025 season, one thing is certain. With White's innovative strategy and Clark's unmatched talent, the Indiana Fever aren't just playing basketball, they're reinventing it. If you've made it this far and are enjoying the video, please remember to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. We understand that watching this video takes some of your time, and we appreciate you. The contrast between White's supportive style and Auriemma's criticism couldn't be more obvious. White is embracing it, building on it, and using it to reshape the entire team.
I started watching Caitlin Clark when she was in the 8th grade when I was at Vanderbilt.
How about that?
And then I called a lot of her games in college when she was at Iowa. And so I've really watched her continue to learn and grow, and have great relationships with her college coaches and had multiple conversations with them throughout the course of her career about what the next steps would be, right? And what the next level would be.
As Caitlin Clark's second WNBA season approaches, the basketball community is ablaze with excitement after she broke records and silenced skeptics during her rookie year. All eyes are on Clark. Will she maintain the momentum, or will she falter under the pressure of such high expectations? Enter Stephanie White is the Fever's mastermind coach, and instead of just observing Clark's talent, White is getting down to business. She has pinpointed particular areas in which Clark can grow, and they are addressing them head-on. Their collaboration has everyone talking.
Not bringing in, my system and my style, and this is the way that we're going to do it, but really adapting and blending some of what we wanted to do or thought we could do with what they had already done that's been very successful.
White's attention, it's all about Clark's strengths. Rather than attempting to transform Clark into a generic player, she's examining what makes Clark unique and determining how to enhance it. As the season draws near, this tactic has basketball gurus baffled and fans on the edge of their seats because something amazing is happening. Clark is changing completely. She isn't just honing her jump shot or defensive abilities. Her perspective is changing. She is no longer happy to simply be a fantastic player. Instead, she is taking on a leadership role and is prepared to lead the squad.
You guys saw this workout. This workout has gotten a lot of people excited for Caitlin Clark because she is directly working on her weaknesses, which I think is a good look. Honestly, I think that's a really, really good look for her because, again, when we're seeing somebody working on their weaknesses and not the glamorous weaknesses.
3 essential components are demonstrated in a recently released video featuring Stephanie White and Caitlin Clark working out together. Clark is already an expert with the rock and is concentrating on first-up ball handling in confined spaces. However, she led the league in turnovers the previous season, primarily because no one was accustomed to the incredible passes she was making. This improved after the Olympic break, but it also improved because she is constantly double and triple teamed, which puts a great deal of pressure on her control. She's tackling that head-on under pressure, and then we see Clark hammering her mid-range game. This is crucial because everyone is aware of her logo 3ES and her ability to finish near the rim. Last season, she shot an absurd 62% from less than 5 feet, but her mid-range has been the one weakness in her offensive strategy. She is being forced to make those shots by Arsenal and opponents by adding a reliable floater and pull-up jumper. Clark is becoming more difficult to protect. At last, the emphasis is on completing through interaction. Although Clark isn't scared to drive, playing in the WNBA requires her to deal with some serious physicality, whether intentional or not. By practicing her strength and simulating game conditions, she's getting ready for the bruises she will endure night after night. The big question is, though, will all of this behind-the-scenes work translate into on-court success? The league is watching to see if Clark can elevate her game even further. Recall those 62 WNBA records she broke in her rookie season, those jaw-dropping 19.2-point stats. With 5.7 rebounds, 8.4 assists, and 1.3 steals per game, they may just be the warm-up act. With Clark's unparalleled talent and White's innovative coaching, the Indiana Fever aren't just looking to get better, they're going for greatness.
Trying to think outside the box, not be tunnel vision in how we do things, putting players in positions to be successful, using what we have to our advantage instead of what we don't, and really trying to reverse engineer in some ways the way that I think about the game, and the positions that we can put our teammates and our players in to be successful.
As we prepare for the upcoming season, it's evident that the Clark-White partnership is changing more than just the Indiana Fever. It's redefining what the WNBA can achieve. Remember when the playoffs seemed unattainable for the Fever? Stephanie White's most recent remarks are set to completely change that narrative. She isn't discussing the playoffs anymore. Rather, she is discussing something far, far greater.
Future is so bright, and our ultimate goal is to hang another banner in the field house. And our ultimate goal is to come back in here after we win that championship and celebrate again like we did in 2012.
In a recent interview, Stephanie White dropped a bombshell that has the entire WNBA talking. She didn't just mention winning a championship. She's thinking bigger and bigger. The Indiana Fever just ended an 8-year playoff drought. Yes, they hadn't played in the postseason since 2016, but she's not content with just ending that streak.
Our job then as coaches to continue to put them in positions to succeed, and our job as a franchise to put the pieces around them that will fill some of the gaps and fill some of the holes, and ultimately our goal is to win championships and to hang banners.
We wanted to display banners and win championships. White said, "Did you notice that there are multiple championships?" This isn't just about one incredible season where Indiana is preparing for a dynasty. But here's the big question. Can a team that just ended an 8-year playoff drought actually turn into a title contender overnight? White has a definite plan. Everyone in the league is anxious about the core trio she is assembling. Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and Kelsey Mitchell-White said it best. It's a combination that's dripping with potential.
And these players got great experience in the playoffs this year. They're all hungry to grow and hungry to improve and hungry to be coached and hungry to win. And when you have 3 foundational players and your big 3 that have that mindset, have that mentality, and great things can happen.
The group's commitment to White's vision, though let's not get ahead of ourselves. This is still a young squad that finished the season at 500 with a 2020 record. It's a huge improvement, sure, but they're not exactly steamrolling the competition. The question on everyone's mind is whether they're truly ready for the big stage, and can they hang with the WNBA's elite when the pressure is on? You can feel the excitement in Indiana. The players are fired up. The fans are buzzing. It's like the entire state is holding its breath waiting to see what this young team can accomplish.
First and foremost, it's a mindset. You've got to be committed to it. And so establishing that this is going to be a part of our DNA and a part of who we are right away and is going to be important.
But here's the thing. Experts are beginning to think that the Fever might take the same route from bottom dwellers to title threats in record time, as we've seen with WNBA teams before, going from lottery to legitimate contenders in the blink of an eye with White at the helm leading this talented young core. White sees something unique in Clark and is not only concerned with victories and defeats, she is also fostering leaders. Beyond her astounding statistics, White thinks Clark has the potential to become a fantastic team leader. This is all part of the strategy to establish a core, cultivate leaders, and establish a successful culture that endures.
It was the greatest lesson of all time is to let them have a voice. And I think so many coaches don't do that. And when you have players like the ones you had in Connecticut, I think, when they know. And if you don't do what they want to do, they'll also say, she's doing it wrong.
Regarding Geno Auriemma's predictions regarding Clark's WNBA career, while he was busy casting doubt on her, she broke records, made the All-WNBA first team, and guided her team back to the playoffs. It turns out that she was destined for this league. After all, Stephanie White and Caitlin Clark are the dynamic duo that is revolutionizing women's basketball. A collaboration that is turning heads throughout the WNBA is being created by White's innovative plan and Clark's unrivaled talent.
In women's sports, it's a big opportunity to be a part of this rising tide that we're all experiencing. Everybody in this company's all in. Everybody in this city's all in.
The future of women's basketball is wearing Fever red. It's a future full of record-breaking performances, jaw-dropping plays, and a ton of winning. As for Geno Auriemma, well, he might want to take some notes. While he was busy doubting, White saw Clark's potential and was nurturing it, helping her go from rookie sensation to team leader. The outcome of the Fever team is not just competitive, but downright scary. The Indiana Fever isn't just aiming for improvement. They are aiming for championships, plural. Do you agree? Please let us know in the comments by turning on all notifications and subscribing so you don't miss anything. We'll see you in the next one after you click the video on the screen.